He had never been to Paris in the spring, but there was no time for sightseeing this time, as Stefan had to hand his intelligence over to Stephanie if the Allies were to destroy the Nazis' new secret weapon created by the heinous Stavros. It was a sunny spring morning, with the early light glancing off the Seine as he made his way down the Rue de la Mer de la Rue de Père, and all was calm. And then, cue organ music signaling ominous times ahead. Turning the corner was Obergruppenführer von Harbensen, surveying the scene, Stavros' enforcer. The Obergruppenführer was not to be trifled with. He may only be 3'5", have an eye patch and a missing leg following an unfortunate incident with an over-amorous honey badger, but that one eye could give the look of pure terror. The Obergruppenführer gave Stefan the Swedish inquisitor look, his eye bulging like the belly of a hungry chaffinch, and off he set his vicious attack, Schutzelsnaffels, Donna and Michelle. These two eat babies for breakfast, so it would make light work with Stefan if they caught him. The chase was on. Stefan kicked in the door of the adjacent apartment block and scrambled up the stairs. He needed to lose them, and quick. Donna and Michelle were as predictable as wasps on speed, and them catching him would be like giving Dracula the keys to the blood bank. Stefan found an open door. There was an empty room, one window, and one closet. Stefan tried the window, locked from the outside. He couldn't outrun them, and he could already hear them tearing up the stairs behind him. Stefan was trapped, and the intelligence would be lost. Then Stefan had an idea. He punched the window, smashing the glass just enough to reach through and unlock it. He lifted the window up, but rather than climb out, he looked back towards the closet. He must find the wimble flapper in order to help Stephanie escape. "Why is you so keen to spy the wimble flapper?" Stefan asked, to which Stephanie responded, "You see, if we want to sneak past Stavros without waking him, we need the wimble flapper." Stefan said, "He's just a filthy old fizzlewigger. I's can handle him." "If the filthy old fizzlewigger was to wake, the horridest things I ever imagined will happen," replied Stephanie. Stefan reached into the closet with his shuffle-like hands and fumbled about. "I's finding this all a little worryous," said Stefan, as he reached further into the closet. Stephanie responded, "We must find it. We can only escape once have it, and only then." Stefan was an older man from Kansas, USA. He had an excellent head of hair and used mayonnaise to keep it in tip-top condition. At the time, it was being filmed for a reality TV program about meeting his girlfriend, a Ukrainian called Stephanie. He used to speak to Stephanie every day in an online chat room, but he had never video chatted her as her phone was always broken. But she still managed to take plenty of selfies. Stefan found out that Stephanie had been talking to another man, Stavros, and travelled to the Ukraine to fight for Stephanie's love and confront Stavros. Stephanie had stopped replying to his messages since he announced he was coming to visit her, but his lack of response had never bothered him. He set out that day to create some funky MI for Stephanie, but Stavros kept on giving Stefan urgent requests, although he thinks he's lost the dressing room. Susie demanded why he always chose Stefan, which he replied he gave 110%, and he's got genuine pace in his locker to complete the tasks. Stefan decided to move to the other side of the office so he could concentrate on finishing his work. When Stephanie requested an update, Stavros said he'd lost a yard of pace, and he'll have nightmares about that for years, and it feels like a bit of hamburgers going on there. And then she walked in. She was still getting used to this human body and had forgotten to put her face on. Catching a glimpse of herself in the mirror, Stephanie's thoughts started racing. For each body part in human body, if not, check disguise body part, then call distract local humans, call done disguise body part, and if next body part, something that resembled a human figure shot past Stephanie's ear, followed by the sounds of dustbins clanging, cats yowling, and old men grumbling. While he was looking in that direction, Stephanie pulled out one of the spare human faces she kept rolled up in her purse, applied the special adhesive and quickly pasted it over her chrome exoskeleton. Surreptitiously replacing her infiltration finger, she greeted the oblivious human in front of her. "Greetings, person. I am Stephanie, a perfectly ordinary human who is exceptional in all the ways that would be specifically required to handle the predicament you may happen to find yourself in now." Stefan was impressed. He was in dire need of an ally who was exceptional in all the ways that would be specifically required to handle the predicament he found himself in right now. He made up his mind. They would do this together. The first thing Stefan and Stephanie decide before defeating the hideous Stavros, they want a vacation. So off they both went, first to the forbidden winterland beyond the wall, skiing and snowboarding over the mountains, ending their trip in a cave, hot tub. Stefan was looking pale. So to the beaches of dawn they both ventured. Before the next leg of their journey, a raven was received, and there was one big problem: Stavros. Stavros, whilst implementing a fiendish and terrifying plan, had had an unfortunate accident involving a cheese grater and a hot dog. This left him horribly and grotesquely disfigured. Stavros was born, a monster the galaxy, nay, the universe, had never seen before. Stefan, born Stephanie, and Stephanie, born Stefan, both citizens of planet Transsexual in the galaxy of Transylvania, took one look at Stavros, and that is why he must die. They found him on top of the Time Bridge doing backflips, and then suddenly he disappeared and is zip-wired across the Millennium Bridge. The good guys seen the cruise boat crossing the river and jumped on to get to the Millennium Bridge to catch the villain. However, the good guys realised it wasn't just a cruise boat, it was a drunken cruise boat. Decided, enough talk, let's dance. All of a sudden, Stavros appeared. How he found us all the way in France? Stavros charges Stephanie, but she ran from sight. Stefan will protect her from this plight. Stavros lunged at Stefan and threw a punch. He managed to duck. Oh, he was having some good luck. Stefan then shouted, "Let battle commence." Things were certainly becoming tense. Wham, pow, crash, boom, biff, bam, zap, splat. Suddenly Stavros was knocked down flat. Stephanie appeared again from the dark. She'd been hiding in the park. Stavros scrambled to his feet. He knew he had been beat. As Stavros ran down the street, he shouted, full of wit, "You have won. I should have known it."
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil, 'cause I'm blind to behold my mind. My gun, they comfort me, 'cause I know I kill my enemies when they come. Well, I came upon man on the top of the hill, called himself the savior of the human race. He said he'd come to save the world from destruction and pain. But I said, how can you save the world from itself? 'Cause I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil, because I'm blind. No, I walk beside the still waters, and they restore my soul. 'Cause I know when I die, my soul is dead.
Stefan, I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom. In the process of gaining my rightful place, I was guilty of wrongful deeds. I sought to satisfy my thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. It would be fatal of you, Stefan, to overlook the urgency of the moment. This sweltering summer of discontent will not pass until there is an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. This is not an end, but a beginning. Those, like Stephanie, who hope that I need to blow off steam and will now be content, will have a rude awakening if you return to business as usual. The whirlwinds of my revolt will continue to shake your foundations until I get my way. It may sound incredible, especially to Stephanie, but it is nevertheless true that I am fighting a war of defense that is only fighting against oppression. The whole world knows, however, that for decades Stefan has been oppressing more than 100 million and coining golden profits, amounting to billions out of the appalling sufferings of the masses and out of the blood of the proletariat. Stefan, you are a cad, a stool pigeon, swine, gutter snipe, mug-ridden man, snivelling little jack, and semi-house-stirring polecat. And being hunted by you is like being savaged by a dead sheep.
5 years since the events of 5 years ago, Stefan has noticed a change in Stephanie. The ducklings he had been carefully rearing are mysteriously vanishing, and his duvet is becoming inexplicably warmer. One day over dinner of delicious hoisin pancakes, Stefan blurts out, "You've been killing my ducklings and making cozy duvets and delicious snacks. These violet delights have violet ends." Stephanie, knowing the game is up, replies, "Don't waste your love on someone who doesn't value it," and promptly makes a run for it. "Oh, serpent heart hid with a flowering face," mutters Stefan as he goes after her. Stephanie, meanwhile, has acquired a meal deal from Nando's and laced it liberally with poison. Stefan finally catches up with her to find her inert form next to a partially eaten meal. "Oh, I am Fortune's fool," cries Stefan, and promptly takes a huge bite of chicken from the remaining Nando's to send himself the same way as apparently departed Stephanie. At this point, Stephanie returns from apparent death to find Stefan flat out, clutching his throat. Horrified at this, let's face it, frankly bizarre turn of events, she goes through his pockets to find his Swiss Army knife. "Oh, happy dagger, this is thy sheath," she cries, then stabs herself to death and falls lifeless on Stefan's dead body.
Gone but not forgotten. Drove so long, my tires are rotten. Found somebody real.